Well, well. How's everybody? I think I finally got this started. Um, let's look at this. Yes, I think we are live. All right. Had couple items of difficulty with my stream this morning, but I think we're all set. So we're going to go ahead and get started without further delay. Um, so this is the fourth of four um, lectures on vision basics. This is the final one. It's been a pretty interesting 3 weeks so far, just trying to get this the technical portion of this correct. So now, yeah, we're going to get this wrapped up. So let me review the previous 3 lectures. So the first 3 lectures were the value of vision, acquiring your vision, and mastering your vision. So acquiring, or not actually acquiring, but the value of vision. So when we're talking about vision, you have to understand that we're talking about sight. Being able to see is the most important thing that we have as humans, having perception. So what we perceive is what we believe. What we perceive is what we believe. So when it comes to vision and understanding the value of it, when we are able to perceive correctly, when we're able to see correctly, the value is that we can make better decisions. When you're able to make a better decision or make your best decision, then you are one step closer to your end destination, which again is what you see. That is your vision. So the value number 2 is it allows you to leverage what you see to make your to weed out distractions, to weed out things, people, situations that should not be in your life. So you can leverage what you see and to be able to say, hey, this situation, this person is not the best for me. And that allows you that quick decision. It allows you that clarity. It allows you to be able to see that right away when something is not good for you. So that's very important because many times in life, people allow situations, things, circumstances to persist well beyond their life expectancy because of lack of clarity. We're constantly asking, well, maybe, that should have been, or maybe this should be. Well, that's because there's a lack of clarity. And that lack of clarity, that blurriness of sight, will allow other situations to persist well beyond their life expectancy. So you want to keep a clear vision. You want to have a vision that is inspiring and that you can hold on to, and you can say, hey, this is what I see. So that brings to value point number 3 is you can use that vision when it's clear to be able to say, this is how we're going to come together because this is what I see. And if the other person doesn't have a vision, it can be a little disheartening as if you're dealing with the person in that they don't have a vision. And so now they're actually coming on board with your vision. And then later on, they may decide this is not what I want to do because they didn't really have clarity themselves. And so they were just along for the ride, which is not a good situation because once they figure it out for themselves, at that point, then they'll start saying, hey, I don't think I want to go this direction anymore. So lack of clarity all around when you're getting involved in relationships, business relationships, personal relationships, romantic relationships, when you don't have vision defined, it really can be a pretty bad thing not knowing exactly what you want to do. So that's the value of vision. So that's acquiring the vision is next. Acquire the vision. Acquire the vision. Acquire the vision. So when we're talking about acquiring the vision, we're talking about looking within and finding out what you are passionate about. Looking within and finding what you really, 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 really want to do, the impact that you want to make. That's acquiring the vision. And it's introspective. You have to look within and say, what am I passionate about? What makes me excited? What drives me? What leads me? What can I do that, or what do I feel that regardless of if it's sunny outside, regardless of the situations that are going on in my life, what is it that I see and feel that I can use as leverage to say, I can always do this. This will never change. This is what I always feel. What is that on the inside? That's when you say, I'm acquiring the vision. A lot of times people don't know what that is because, it is kind of hard to figure out. There's so much information going into us. There's so much information that is being passed around and passed through. Internet age is information age. We are loaded with information. Loaded with information. And so finding your vision is difficult. And so it takes a qualified person, someone who's like an eye doctor, to sit down with you and ask you the right questions to help you come up and formulate the perfect vision for your life. The perfect vision for your life so that you can say, this is it. This is what I see. And it's not changing because once you set your vision, you set your destination, you make up your mind, this is where I want to go. So that's acquiring the vision. Now, mastering the vision. Mastering is saying, I have my vision. I've acquired it. I see the value of it. And now I have it and I want to master it. What is mastery? Mastery is when you come to a level of expertise in what you do. That's mastery. It was once said that 10,000 hours makes a person a master. 10,000 hours in any activity constitutes them being a master. So, I'm pretty sure most of us have had a burning desire, maybe not identified, but we've had a burning desire for a pretty long time. And we've been stewing over that in our mind, it's in our heart, it's been there all along, but maybe, we didn't pull it out and we didn't bring it out. But now that we understand that we actually have something clear, we understand that there's a vision, we want to begin to master that. We want to begin to spend time thinking about it. So more importantly, not just having, physical hours in your vision, but you want to have mental hours, okay? You want to have invisible hours in the vision, meaning you are constantly holding that thought of your vision in your mind. You're holding it there. Like Napoleon Hill said in one of his books, if you take an idea, if you take a thought, and you hold that thought in your mind, that immediately those things, those plots, those things, those activities will begin to clothe themselves around that thought and begin to activate it and cause it to manifest. That's part of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Millions of people have gotten rich, millionaires, off of Napoleon Hill's book. And so what I'm saying is the same thing. Take your vision, keep your vision in your mind, hold it there, and keep that thought at the forefront of your daily thought and activity. Captivate on that energy. You have to take that energy and allow that to continually build in the direction of the vision. That's what you have to do. It's important. It's important. So keeping the thought of the vision and begin to build those hours in the direction of the vision. build those hours, build that time, build that momentum inside, in your head. Keep building it. So that's mastering the vision. And if you have any, you need to go back and look at that. I'll post those on YouTube so you can get those 3 down before you get to this actual launch the vision lecture. Again, that was the value of the vision, that's acquiring the vision, and then that is mastering the vision. So today, the final one, we'll be getting into launch the vision. Launch the vision. So the word launch means to begin, to start, or your vision has been burning or lying dormant inside of you. And now you have documented your vision, you've written it down, you mastered it, and now it's time to launch. The launch part should be easy because you have been marinating on this idea, and it's like a slingshot effect. You're ready just to be launched out and out into the atmosphere and make this vision known to the world. So the first thing you might want to ask, okay, what is it that I need to launch, right? What is it that you need to launch? Okay. Well, you need to launch your idea into the marketplace, okay? You need to launch that idea and begin gaining momentum. Now, in this final session, lecture, I'm going to talk a little bit about the science of vision, the science of manifestation, and that's going to be the next course, the science of manifestation. But I need to talk a little bit about it now because I'll be talking about momentum, and momentum is very important. And if you can look it up, but the definition or the equation for momentum is mass equals velocity, or excuse me, is momentum equals mass times velocity. Now you might say, well, what is that? I'm not, you might not be a physics guru, but neither am I, but it made sense. So let me say that again. Momentum is mass times velocity. So what we would need to do is understand what each part of those of the equation means. So momentum, it's a quantity. It's a numerical value. It's a number, 4, 5, 6, 7. Higher the number, the more, the greater the momentum. So momentum. Then it says that equals mass. Well, what is mass? Mass is, let's just say, it's the weight of an object. How heavy that object is. How big that object is. Okay? Then you multiply that times velocity. Well, what is velocity? Velocity is speed in a direction. Speed in a direction. Okay? So when we talk about velocity, we're talking about north, south, east, west, up, down, left, right, whatever direction that we're going. And we're talking about speed, a numerical value, how fast in that given direction. So there you have it. Mass or momentum equals mass times velocity. Now, what does that have to do with launching your vision? Everything. Okay? Has everything to do with it. Let me explain. So vision is your object. It's an invisible object. Now remember, these laws apply to the visible world and to the invisible world. The invisible world operates on the same principle. If something has momentum in this physical world, this remote, if I slide it across this table, it has momentum across the table, okay? Just like your vision, your thoughts in the invisible world, they have momentum too. The ideas, they begin to pick up speed, they begin to gain, they have a direction, and they begin to move. And they continually pick that up. Those ideas begin to catch on with other people as they're spoken, and that builds momentum, and that idea and that thought begins to spread, it gains speed, it gains traction, it begins to move around the world. Okay? So that's why it's important for us to understand. So how do you increase your momentum? Well, you increase your momentum by increasing the mass, and you increase or you change the velocity. That's how you increase your momentum. So in your vision, if you want the momentum of your vision to increase, then you must increase your velocity or change it, or increase your mass or increase your speed within the vision. So I'll just touch on that. Might be confusing, but I will get on to that and explain in further detail in the science of manifestation in the next course. All right, so we're talking about the vision gaining momentum. Well, in order to gain momentum or even initiate momentum in a given object, it has to be put into motion. Force has to be applied to the object, okay? So, what are we talking about? Your vision, force has to be applied to it. What kind of force do you apply to a thought? Desire. Desire is the force of all thought. The greater the desire, the more force a thought has. The more feelings you have attached to a thought, the more force that thought will have, and the more momentum it will gain, because you have so much energy in the form of thoughts applied to the vision. Okay, so much desire applied in the direction of the vision, and that will help propel your vision forward. Okay, so when we have understanding that, so the physical launch is simply the manifestation of what I just described that happened invisibly in the thought realm. What you've been thinking. You've been thinking about launching it. You've been thinking about creating a business. You've been thinking about launching a nonprofit. You've been thinking about making an impact on the world. Okay? You've been thinking about it. So now the launch is taking place because you are now physically doing those activities that will cause that idea to take shape. You're now doing physical activities that will cause that idea to take shape. And it doesn't matter how big or how huge those activities are, long as you start. Apply force, apply your desire to the vision, and that will bring about a launch, and that begins the momentum, that begins the process of growing and moving toward the vision. Okay? So, number 2, what is it that you need to launch? You need to launch your brand. Your brand, the feeling that people get when they hear about or they see your product or your vision or whatever it is that you want to manifest or make a reality. What's the feeling they get? That's your brand. What's the feeling? How do I feel when I hear about this vision? How do I feel when I hear you talking about company X or company Y? How do I feel? What does it make me think about when that's mentioned? That's your brand. It's that feeling. You know, how am I impressed or not impressed? You know, will I recommend? You know, do I feel like I want to recommend your product or your service? That's your brand. That's your, you know, when I see your logo and I know it's associated with your product or your service, how do I feel? Do I want to tell someone else? Do I get excited? Do I feel like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's a great product. That's a great person behind that brand. That's a great company. That's a great individual. Those are great people. That all is your brand, and that has to be launched. And that's a process. People begin to, you know, you first tell people about your vision, you tell them about your product, your service, and slowly but surely they begin to have brand recognition. Oh, I'm starting to understand now. I recognize what you do. It's making sense now. I see your vision. I see your product. I see how you're displacing, you know, problems that have that are in this world that your brand and your service is now displacing. It's solving those problems. I see how that's happening, and now I'm beginning to feel good about that. That's a brand. Okay? That is being launched when you pick that day, that time, that venue, that location, and you say, this is the day when I'm releasing my product from my mind, from the invisible world into the visible world, from the invisible world to the visible world. That day that you choose, you mark that day on your calendar, and that's your launch date. Now you invite family, you invite friends, you do all those different things during that launch to make that brand known. Okay? Next, a feeling of excitement and expectation must surround your launch. Okay? A feeling. Feelings are important. People talk about feelings, but let me tell you, feelings are the most important thing when it comes to manifestation. Your feelings. If you get your feelings involved, wow. If you get your feelings involved in something, that brings your thought to a whole new level of energy. And it brings you the vibration of those thoughts to a higher frequency. That's what feelings do. So you must get your feelings involved in your vision and create that energy around your launch because you excited. You are feeling some kind of amazing way about this day of your launch. Important. Get those feelings involved. But of course, because you've mastered the vision, your feelings are already involved. And so this day is just, it's moving. It's energetic because you've already created and built that inside your mind in the invisible world. Now it's just time for everybody to see the excitement. Okay? So when you launch, around that launch, you want to use a lot of highly descriptive words around your launch. Okay? What I mean by that is your Facebook launch, your web page launch, your conversation, business cards, balloons, whatever it is that you have to commemorate and to acknowledge that this day is the day that I'm launching. Descriptive words. That's for people. That's for you. When you see words that are energized, wonderful, highly, great, super, amazing, tremendous, fantastic, all of those words generate excitement. You want to use words concerning your launch, concerning your business, that generate feeling, emotion, and excitement. Those are powerful. Those are powerful. Okay? You need those. Social media presence. When you this launch, you're launching a social media presence. Obviously, the top: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you want to do Pinterest, but obviously Facebook and Instagram are the top social ones. LinkedIn for your more professional ones. If you want to do Snapchat, you want to get launched in there. Having those pages created full of pictures, full of descriptive words, full of things that's going to create energy, a feeling of anticipation, a feeling of expectancy. You want people to expect something. That's what you want. Okay, so you're launching that presence. There's activity around your launch. All right, people are calling, emails, posts, texts, pictures, just activity around your launch. Constantly talking about that, descriptive, getting people engaged, as many as you can. And it doesn't matter the number, whether it's two, whether it's one, if it's just you, or 500 or 1,000. Activity and energy are contagious. They attract. So once you start having any activity, people that are on that same frequency, that same like mind, they're going to be attracted to you. They will eventually see your post, they'll see your movement, they'll see your activity because they're looking for that themselves. So if they're looking for it, you're looking for it, the two will eventually meet on a plane of recognition, on a plane of attraction, a plane of the same frequency, because you're both searching and seeking. Okay? And all you need to do is increase the amount of activity to become more visible. That begins to speed up your direction in the vision. Okay? And then finally, what else you want to unlock is you want social affirmation, social proof. You want other people talking about your launch. You want other people talking about your activity. You want other people, speaking positively and speaking highly about your launch or your activity. That's social affirmation. Now, obviously, that may take some time because if you're a brand new launch, you may not have a lot of that. But over time, as you continue to do activities, that will increase. And you need to just be encouraged, be patient, because that is a process. But because you are excited about it, you're not discouraged or you're not offended. You're not angry. You're not feeling, oh, I need to quit, because this is something that you've already mastered. You've already mastered the vision. You've already set this as a destination. So whatever outside forces does that happen, it doesn't matter. That should have no bearing or impact on your success or on your forward moving, because you've mastered your vision. It's part of who you're set. You're going this direction and it doesn't matter. So you'll keep moving until the social affirmation grows. All right. So launch day. During your launch, you must take lots of pictures. Lots of pictures. Did I say lots of pictures? I cannot stress that you must take lots of pictures. I cannot stress it enough. Okay? That is important because this is the day you will have all your family, most of your family, some of your family, if you have family. You have all your friends, some of your friends, most of your friends, if you have friends. Just honestly. But I'm sure you have someone that's in your corner. Even if it's the dog. Bring the dog. Bring the cat. Bring the animals. Let them come around and say, hey, this is my launch. They support you. Have lots of dog food, cat food, whatever, bird carrying. But have an audience, okay? Have them witness this amazing and spectacular day of your launch. Important. You take those pictures, you capture those pictures, and you put those pictures everywhere. Okay? Everywhere. You take pictures of everything. So once this day is over with, you can never get this day again. This is time when people are coming from out of town. People are showing up that you haven't spoken with in years, possibly. They're excited and they just want to come and see. They're all gathered together in one place. And now you have this moment and this opportunity in time to take all these pictures of posing, and you want to capture those, and that becomes your media blitz. Excuse me. That's your media blitz. Now you have pictures and posts and things for days, for months, if you take enough pictures. So now going forward, you're able to talk about this day. You're able to use this day in your promotions and continue creating that activity around your business and around your launch. Okay. So that's awesome. So remember, launch is to get things moving. You have to get things moving. You have to get things out of your head onto paper, off of paper into the physical world, and get a manifestation. Okay? You have to. And once you get that started, momentum takes over, and you keep the momentum on your vision. Don't do a bunch of different things that are unrelated to your vision. What do I mean by that? Okay, so you have your vision, and then you have this other activity or item that's completely unrelated that you're trying to grow and make money from. You can't go back and forth. You have your family, you have to grow and mature and manifest now. You want to play hockey and then you want to be an educator. So, which is it? Do you want to be a hockey player or do you want to be a teacher? I mean, you're trying to grow a business as a professor, adjunct professor, and you're trying to teach hockey. Those are completely different directions. And so that's going to drain your energy. It's going to take away from your focus in one or the other, and getting to prevent you from getting to the point where either one of those things are self-sustaining, creating you the income or the success that you see because of your focus or because of your lack of focus. So you're transferring momentum. It's like cleaning a house. Okay, I used to try to clean the house by going from one room to another and then going back, 5-room house, and start in one room, do a little bit, go to the next room, do a little bit, go to the next room, do a little bit, and then come back to the first room. It took forever. That's because I kept transferring momentum. Okay? If you take one room, knock it out. Do the next room, knock it out. Knock it out. Third room, knock it out. You just keep knocking it out. That's how momentum builds. You transfer, complete one item, and then transfer, force momentum to the next thing, finish it, knock it out. Same thing. So this is why I say, remember, stay focused on the vision. Do not keep moving around. All right? You want to keep acknowledging your vision. You want to keep reading it out loud in the presence of people on that day, going back to that day. You want to read that and let them be energized by that vision. Put that into their mind so that they can begin telling other people about it, so that they know you exist. They can tell their friends that you exist. Hey, I went to this launch. Let them be part of building and bringing things. Finally, in the four-part of is visionwritersusa.com. Reach out to me if you have any questions about vision. I understand you may have a vision written there, concise and compelling.